What's up, mi gente? Hi, if you're new here, my name is Lesley. I am a first-gen nursing student. I am in my 4th quarter out of 7, and I graduate in September of 2024. And I wanted to make this video because while I was going through the process of trying to get into nursing school, I found it very difficult because I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to look at. I was just a very young kid out of high school, 18 years old, and I didn't know how to go about it, and I had to teach myself and learn it all by myself. So I wanted to make this video for you guys, for anybody who needs some encouragement or who needs some guidance. I am here for you. So I have 5 easy steps to help you get into nursing school. So let's get started. I'm gonna go ahead and say them, and then we'll go into more depth of them. I also made this Word document that I'm gonna insert at the description box so you guys can go ahead and see it, because I also inserted links for books, Quizlets, and some scholarships and stuff, so you guys can go ahead and check it out. So first step is finding the right school for you. The second step is prerequisites. Third step is the financial aspect of paying for school. And the fourth step is prepping for your entrance exam, whether that's the HESI or the TEAS. And then the fifth step is having faith and believing in yourself. I'm gonna try to make this short and quick, and hopefully I give you guys the sufficient, advice, information that will help and benefit you guys. So with the first step, finding the right school that works for you. There is so many different ways that you guys can go ahead and become a nurse. You guys can rather become an LPN. In different states it's called an LVN, or you guys can get your ADN, so your associate's degree in nursing, or your bachelor's. You could go from an LPN to an RN, ADN to BSN, or just do BSN. When I say find the right school that works for you and the program that works best for you, is that not everyone has that opportunity to just go straight to getting a BSN, because school is expensive. Prerequisites are so expensive. So, and especially if you're someone who's on their own and has to do everything on their own, the cheaper route and the shorter route is going to be what best works for you guys. If you guys do have that advantage of having your parents, or having more money to be able to pay for school and and more time to be able to just go ahead and do just the BSN straight route, then that's awesome. Do that. Don't feel bad if it takes you more steps than the average, because the typical range of how long it takes people to finish nursing school is I think around 4 to 6 or 4 to 5, around there. So there are different types of schools that you guys can go to. There are trade schools, there's community colleges, there's state colleges, private colleges. So for example, here in Colorado, that's where I'm from, we have Concord. I think you could get your LPN, and we also have Emily Griffith, where you can also get your LPN. So those 2 schools are trade schools that you could go to. They're technical colleges. So second step, prerequisites. Colleges will in general all have the same prerequisites for nursing school, and then depending on the college that you go to, if it's Christian or if it's a religious college, they'll make you do extra steps for them. So definitely when you are doing the first step, finding the school that best fits you, make sure that you're thinking about the second step. You are looking into the prerequisites of each school and see what works, what you'll be able to do, because some programs will require you to complete a lot more than others. So I'll tell you the main ones that I took, and in general some of my friends also took. So we have general biology, where you'll learn the Krebs cycle, photosynthesis, all that. Again, you'll also have to take probably math, algebra or statistics. I heard some schools also made them take calculus. I'm not sure, but some schools, like I said, will require you to do more. Human anatomy 1 and 2, and you also have chemistry, you'll have microbiology, and also pathophysiology, depending on your program. I had to take pathophysiology before I entered my program, or I could have taken it at the program that I'm at right now. So it depends. Like I said, other classes that you might have to take are I forgot what the word is, but it's alternative arts or something like that. So it's speech, debate, film history, a religion class, something like that. You'll have to take extra classes, kind of like electives, those fun classes that we took in high school that were fun and extra and counted for some points. But in college, you'll have to take it just to get credit. and to be able to apply and get that degree. It is important that you do your research. I unfortunately cannot do the in-depth research for every college for you guys, but I am showing you the steps and what to look for and what to look into. So it is very important for you to look for the prerequisites that you need for whatever college you want to get into. And an advice that I would give you is to look at a bunch of different schools that you are interested in, look at the prerequisites, and then when you're getting closer to being done with finishing and you apply, I would suggest applying to more than just one nursing school. Just because to have your chances high up there and you can get into all of them that you want to, and if you don't get into the one that you want to, you have a backup plan. So it is important to look at all those prerequisites so you can have it's set. So, if one college requires you to have algebra and the other college didn't, and you want to apply to both at the same time, just take algebra so you're able to apply to both of them at the same time. And the college that you wanted didn't accept you, then the backup plan where you took algebra, that one did. And that's kind of basically what happened with me. I was applying to MSU here in Denver, and I didn't get in, and then I applied to the college I'm at now, which is DCN, and I had to take, I believe, algebra, and I had to take like 2 other like elective courses, and I got in. So yeah, that's why I say that, just a tip and advice. But at the end of the day, it is your life and you decide what you want to do and works best for you. So I wanted to touch on the prerequisites a little bit more. So prerequisites are very important because nursing school is very competitive, so you're going to want to do really good to be able to get into whatever school you want. Like if you are set on a school that you want to go to and it's super competitive, well girl, I'm gonna tell you right now, get all A's. Get all A's. If you want to get into this school so bad that no other school compares, then give it your all and do all A's. But there's so many schools out there in the world. Like, you don't have to just isolate yourself to just one. And if you don't get all A's, that's okay, because you don't have to get all A's to get into nursing school. You don't. Trust me, because I didn't. Failed a couple classes and I still got into nursing school, but obviously I failed them. I had to retake them. When I retook them, I got A's, B's. Your GPA does not matter so much. It only usually matters a lot when it's like a really competitive school that only accepts like 15 students each semester, 20 students each semester. That's usually when it matters the most, because there's another school that's becoming very popular. It's called West Coast University, something like that. Yeah, West Coast University. And that one, I was looking into the requirements to get in, and you can have like a GPA of like 2.5 or 2.7 and you can get in. So that's basically like almost all C's. Some C's, some D's, like you can still get into nursing school even with that GPA. So just know, look at the requirements is very important. Look what you need. Look at the overall like entrance percentage rate of who gets in, and that will help you in the long run. But just know, the grades matter, of course, because you want to know the information, but do not base your worth on those grades, because the grades do not define you, okay? So, and then the third step, the financial aspect. I think the financial aspect is not talked about enough, and honestly, it's because I feel like just talking about money is just uncomfortable for some people. And I'll be very transparent with you guys. So I feel like going into nursing school, the financial aspect for me it made me so nervous because it was just so much money, and I don't come from a wealthy family, so it made me very anxious, and I would get pretty sad because I didn't know how to get help, or I didn't know how we were gonna do it. But nonetheless, once I got into nursing school, there was no other way really but to just to work. So for me personally, I'll let you guys know, I go to Denver College of Nursing and my tuition is $60,000. So what I did, me and my parents now, is I was actually working beforehand and I was saving up as much money as I could, and we started doing a payment plan with the school. So that ended up being like $2,000, like $2,700 each month. That's how much I was paying, and that's how much I was paying for my first quarter. So it goes by like quarterly. It's really confusing. And then I had to retake that quarter because I failed. And then I was paying like $1,000, like $500, something like that, because I don't know why. I think they were just charging me only for that quarter. And then after that, I wasn't working as much. I wasn't able to pay that like $2,000 each month. So I ended up taking a loan. Yeah. I ended up taking a loan. I ended up taking, I believe, a $21,000 loan to cover like my second academic year, technically what it is. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I didn't want to. I was really sad taking it because my goal was to not be in debt. I did not want to be in debt. But thankfully, all my prerequisites I paid off because I was working full time while taking my classes, and I paid it off. So I didn't have any debt prior to my prereqs, but now I have debt. I'll also let you guys know my interest rate is 11%, 11 something percent. It's a lot. So when I graduate and it'll add up, it'll end up being like $30,000, and I still owe $10,000. They're gonna end up charging me for that, I believe, like around July, because that will be like technically my last academic year, but it's like the last 3 months before I graduate, so I have to pay that. And my plan for that right now is I'm gonna work and pay it off, and hopefully apply for some scholarships, whatever I find, or some grants. So yeah, the financial aspect, it depends. So you could rather get loans, scholarships, payment plans, work full-time, work part-time. And then I inserted 2 links on my Word doc for you guys to try to find some scholarships. It is really hard. Just be patient with trying to get a scholarship, because it's basically like, it feels like trying to win the lottery, because you just keep applying and applying and see whoever accepts you, whether it's like $1,000, $500. Money is money, and that'll help you in the long run to not stress about gas, books. So just apply as much as you can. So I'll let you guys also know other schools and how much they cost. I'm sorry again, I only have the information that I have from Colorado because that's where I'm from. So I have Metropolitan State University of Denver. That's like around 40 to 50K. And I also have Regis University, that's also around 40 to 50K. And it can also, which is very awesome, if you live in Colorado or are interested in moving states for nursing school, look up Children's Hospital with Regis University. If you work for Children's Hospital and you are taking classes, let's say somewhere else, prereqs, or you're taking prereqs at Regis, you're basically set in, like, you're gonna get accepted because you work at Children's, because Children's has a program or has a connection with Regis University that all the nursing students that work at Children's go to Regis, then you'll end up working back at Children's for like a certain amount of years. I don't know it exactly, but I have 2 friends that are doing that and work at Children's and got accepted into Regis, and their tuition is 100% paid for. But the catch is you do have to work part-time or full-time still at Children's while you still do nursing school, and then you also have to work for them once you graduate. So if you need your tuition 100% paid for, that is an awesome route to go to. Regis is also an awesome school, so just letting you guys know. And then we got Arapahoe Community College, and that's like around 40K, and I believe that they also like reimburse you. Actually, they help you a lot with like personal scholarships and stuff, so that is awesome. But just the thing about Arapahoe Community College is very competitive, very, very competitive, and I think they only accept like a few people. But nothing's impossible. So, and then we also have Emily Griffith Technical College, and that's around like 10, 12K or 14K, I believe. But they reimburse you like every like quarter, every class, and it basically ends up being like around $8,000 to like almost free. I've met a couple of LPN students that go there and have told me that they reimburse them and that they haven't really had to pay anything. So, which is really awesome. Getting on to step number 4. So for your entrance exam, for your HESI or your TEAS, it depends on your school. So when you're applying, make sure you look into the requirements and look into what you're going to be tested on. So for the school that I got tested on the first time, I got tested on human anatomy, reading, and math. And then when I took DCN, I just got tested on reading, math, and grammar. I didn't get tested on any human anatomy. And it is very difficult. It can be very difficult depending on the topics and the amount of time that you give yourself to study and prepare. So I have these 2 books that I bought from Amazon, and they really helped me pass my exams, both of them. I would say give yourself like a month max. And if you're giving yourself less time, do the best that you can with the time that you have. But I would definitely say if you want to score high, which you want to, because some schools are point based. So the higher you score, the higher chance you have of getting into their school. Like I said, it just depends on their school. Just get the knowledge, do the research so you know and you're prepared. So I also entered some links of the books that I bought from Amazon that you guys can get. I also have Quizlets. Quizlets helped me so much when I was preparing. I found Quizlets that had the exact same questions that were on the test. So go ahead and check it out. I inserted the link in the Word doc that I put. All right, and then YouTube videos. If you're taking the TEAS test instead, I don't know the difference completely of what it is or what's different of it, but I have a friend, she's from Indiana, her name is Princess, and she just passed her TEAS and is getting into nursing school starting January. So thank you so much, girl, for helping us out. She sent me a bunch of links for Quizlets and then a bunch of YouTubers that she watched that helped her pass her exam. So definitely check those out. I have it in the Word doc. My last step. I know this step might seem, probably redundant or, like it's not really a step or you won't really find it helpful, but having faith will help you. Believing in yourself will help you because nursing school is very competitive. There are plenty of people out there who are in the nursing field that are very negative and talk down on others and, basically think that they're better than you and you don't deserve to be here. That's basically how some people are. And even like the counselors, if you're struggling and you don't have the best grades and you go to a counselor and you talk to them like how they can help you. I had my personal counselor at MSU tell me you should rethink your career. You should rethink your major. So they're gonna say that to you. People are gonna doubt you, and it's very important for you to keep trying, to keep pushing, for you to believe in yourself. Because if you don't, no one else will. And times are gonna get rough. You're gonna fail an exam. You're gonna probably fail a class. The important thing is, if you decide to get back up and to keep chasing your dream, it is so possible. It's so possible to achieve anything that you set your mind to. So I hope that you guys can have faith and believe in yourselves. Get to that finish line because the world needs more nurses. The world needs nurses who actually care, who will, do more than just what is asked of them, because these people are in pain. These people need our help, and that's what we're there for. A lot of people just do it for the money, which is fine because, it is good money and the world is so hard now. It's so expensive. So we deserve that money. But people who don't do what they need to do and don't really care about others, I don't think that's right. Nonetheless, if you're just doing it for the money, just care. Do your best to try and care about these people because they're in pain and you're the only one who's helping them at that moment. So, and I also wrote you guys like the same thing that I just said, but probably different, a little shorter too, on the Word doc that I sent you. I wanted to add a little bonus. So I have 3 really close friends that I have made during my nursing school journey, and I asked them what was the most difficult part for them to get into nursing school, what class was the most difficult for them, and what advice would they give to oncoming nurses. So let's go ahead and get into it. First one we have is Janelli. Janelli is the sweetest person I've ever met. She came up to me, I remember, after an exam and was asking me if I was, doing okay, and, she encouraged me to keep going. And, I'll never forget that of her, Janelli. And she said, every nursing program had different prereqs. No one really talks about the finances. I didn't have $25K laying around, or not a lot of people aware that they need a cosigner for private loans or even talk about the process. The hardest prereq for her was pathophysiology. And Janelli did mention that when she was doing her prereqs that she was only able to take like 1 to 3 classes each semester, because it's expensive and she has to work, she has a daughter, she's a wife, she has dogs, like, she's still going. And the piece of advice that Janelle would give you guys is that she would tell you guys that the only competition is themselves in this nursing journey, which is very true, because you're only competing with yourself. You're not competing with other people, because nursing school and the people in nursing school can make it very competitive, like grade competition, which is very weird, because at the end of the day we all end up with the same degree. So it doesn't matter how good you do, because when you apply to a hospital, they're not going to ask you what grade you got or what was your GPA. They're not. And she also said to not forget to take a break from studying with proper time management, and there is time for fun in nursing school. And Janelle also said that I always thought I wasn't smart enough because I didn't have a bachelor's degree or straight A's, so maybe I wouldn't be smart enough for nursing school. But I had to prove myself otherwise, which is so inspiring, because we all feel that way at some point in our lives. We all feel like shit, like I can't do this, but you have to dig yourself out of that hole and prove yourself wrong that you can do it, because you can. Like, it's all mental, and you can change your mind and change your thoughts, and it'll change your life and your world around you. And now, next up, we have my friend Savannah. So Savannah is the sweetest person ever as well. She's so helpful and so smart. She always helps our group making study guides. If you guys see my other videos, I'm always studying the study guides that she makes, because she's on top of her game, and she has 2 kids. She has 2 dogs, she's a wife. Janelle and Savannah are both balancing nursing school full time while being moms and being wives. Like, it's a lot. And if you are a mom, if you're a new coming mom, it's possible. You can do it. So Savannah said the biggest thing was the financial part nobody likes to talk about. I tell y'all all the time, I cried getting that info back from school and only having 2 weeks to figure it out. So for Savannah, they wouldn't give her much time to figure out her payment plan. I think they gave her like 2 weeks to figure it out. And it was difficult because, it's the money part is overwhelming, because who has that money? Who has $25K laying around? I mean, I don't. My friends don't. Maybe some of you do, which is awesome, take advantage of it. But like, majority of us, we don't have that, and it can be very stressful. And she said that she thinks the hardest class for her was general bio. I think, coming from out of high school, or not going straight into college when you graduate and going back into college, it can be very difficult to adjust back to learning all these things that you didn't really pay attention to, that you have to now because you have to get a good grade in the class. So definitely remember general biology. I think I had to retake that too. I had to retake a lot of classes. Savannah would say that, she says, just tell them everyone's journey is different, that as long as you never fold, you'll achieve what's meant for you. We'll all end up with registered nurse behind our names. So getting through what seems like never-ending hell will give you a lifetime of reward. She also said, I always tell myself it's about the perspective. I hate the hell we go through, but we're working towards becoming better. We are forever watering ourselves, and one day I'll miss the hell, not because I want to do the work, but because I have y'all through it, and I'll miss that aspect. I also think about how badly I wanted to be here, and now I'm in the shit, and now I'm in the shit about to step into my graduation era. Which is very true, because when you're trying to get into nursing school, you'll have moments where you feel really down, that you're crying because you want to be into nursing school. But once you get into nursing school and you're crying, you're like, oh my goodness, like, I was crying to be here, It's funny, because once you guys get into nursing school and you experience all that full circle, you'll laugh and you'll be like, I wanted this. So my last friend, we have Skylar. Skylar is the sweetest person ever. I love her so much. I love all my friends so much. They're all so great in their own different ways, and I am so blessed to have them all. So Skylar said that the hardest part was getting into a nursing school, that she planned on getting into MSU, but it was so competitive and they only accepted 26 students in the spring. The hardest prereq for her was microbiology, and she would tell someone going in or thinking about it is to take their prerequisites seriously. Don't never let anyone determine you living your dream. Thank you so much for watching me, gente. I hope this helped you. I hope I was able to give you some insight, answer some of your questions that you have had. And I can't wait to see you guys all become nurses, get accepted into your school. And I can't wait to see you guys there.